This is the story Sultan and Idiot by Doris Schreiber, which is originally in German, and we translated and adapted it. When the Sultan was still little, 5 of his servants carried him out to the terrace of the magnificent palace. One carried his left leg, another his right. The third held up one arm, the fourth the other, and the fifth supported the Sultan's bottom. The servants carried him even though he could walk. His Sultan legs were healthy, the Sultan muscles still young, but he was not allowed to walk. The little Sultan had to practice doing nothing. With this, he prepared himself for the work of a big Sultan, and this was to sit around and do nothing. And because doing nothing was particularly difficult to learn, one had to practice it at a very young age. Otherwise, it would be impossible to manage. In the early morning, the young Sultan sat comfortably bathing in the sun, which always shone. No clouds disrupted his happiness, no excessive heat burned his precious skin. It wasn't that he was lucky with the weather. No, the sun was ordered never to shine on him with either a hot or cold beam. It had to serve him with the same scale of obedience. It did not shine when it wanted to, but started punctually at 8 o'clock and shone until 5 p.m. Then it was allowed to go down. It only rained in the land of the Sultan at night, when the little one was in bed. The clouds obeyed and the wind blew on order. At least there where the Sultan lived. The palace was high up on a mountain. From his place on the terrace, the Sultan had a magnificent view over the ocean, which began at the bottom of the cliffs. When the ocean became too boring, he just looked up into the bright blue sky. He did not do anything else. The Sultan was neither allowed to horse around nor climb, nor play and hide and seek with anybody. He was neither allowed to clear the table nor wash the plates. He was not allowed to clean any of his shoes by himself, which did not get dirty anyway, how could they? Or do his homework. He did not even have a teacher, no class, no school, nothing. When the Sultan grew up, he became black belt master in doing nothing at all. He barely moved a muscle, except when he married. For his own wedding, he had to briefly interrupt doing nothing. Getting up, getting married, sitting down again. This hadn't been so bad if he only married once or twice in his life, but a true Sultan needed to marry as often as possible. He already had about 100 women. Fat women, thin women, big women, small women, very beautiful women, but also dirt ugly ones were there. Women with blonde hair or with red, brown, and black hair, or with yellow, blue, or colorful hair. The Sultan had women in all colors and from everywhere. One might think the Sultan married a woman from just about every country in the world. Other people collect stamps or coins. Our Sultan collected women. To show how much these around 100 women loved their Sultan, they sewed, knitted, and wove pillows all the time. They were the most beautiful pillows in the world. Pillows on which he could sit and do nothing. And this is where the story will continue in a week's time. And then we are going to hear more about the Sultan and whether his life is as easy as you probably think it would be. But you can also already tell that his world is a strange one, sort of inverse of our world. And that's always something which philosophers find interesting, because that's when one can learn something about the way in which things normally are and whether it's really so desirable to not ever do anything or not go to school. We took it also as a little exercise to become a bit creative, and so we made pillows for the Sultan from clay that can be hardened in the oven. And as you can see on this picture, that wasn't such an easy thing, because with clay you have to first make sure that it gets soft enough to form the pillows. But they came out quite beautifully. And we are also looking to show you all the women that the Sultan had, but that will all be happening next time. So thanks for listening and see you soon, we hope. Bye.